I really thought the crystal readings were interesting for this month of January 2017. If you're interested in getting one of those videos for this month, you can access these by clicking on the link below this video, and it will take you to my Vimeo videos on demand page for January 2017 crystal readings for each sign of the zodiac for download and purchase. You can also access my psychic tarot readings for the new year of 2017 plus January by clicking on the other link below this video. You can also access these videos by going to my website, www.theluckymermaid.com, clicking on the videos tab on my menu, going to page 8, and there you will see the heading for the expanded New Year reading for 2017 plus January videos, and you will also see the links for the January 2017 crystal readings for each sign of the zodiac. You just click on your sign and it will take you to that video on Vimeo. I want to thank you so very much for all of your purchases of all of my videos here on Vimeo, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace. Thank you so much. Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, and welcome to your mid-month psychic tarot reading for January 2017. This time I'm using a new deck of cards that my son gave me for Christmas called Tarot Mucha, and we'll see how you like this deck. Please click on the timestamps below this video to go directly to your sign. I've pulled each card for each sign of the zodiac, as I always do in the mid-month psychic tarot readings, which I started doing based on requests from viewers about a year ago. So hopefully these messages are going to bring you some additional insights and help in this mid-month of January. Please be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign to gain more insight and information, because some months they will resonate more for you than your sun sign will. Also remember, these are general readings, and to get messages pertaining specifically for you, you would need a private reading. All that being said, now on to your mid-month psychic tarot update for each sign of the zodiac. And the first sign I'm starting with is Aries. And the first card you have that showed up, Aries, is the Empress. And the Empress is a card to me that symbolizes birth of a child, birth of a project, plan, or idea, business, or enterprise. It can also be someone that's watching over you in the spirit world that would be a maternal figure, a mother, a stepmother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, or someone who was like a mother figure to you that is now on the other side. They're saying, learn from your past mistakes. Try not to repeat any past scenarios. So you may be faced with that in the middle of this month of January, or at some point in January. I feel that some of you Aries are looking to find new ways, new outlets, new creativity. You could be looking to find a new source of income or a new job or enterprise. It could be that, but I'm seeing you looking for new sources and new outlets through this Empress card. They're saying you don't have time to waste, Aries, to get on it. Get on any, connections you've made through networking or any new ideas that you've had brewing. Like, don't wait anymore. It's time to strike out and, get on with it. Get on with the events that will now, get on with the things that will lead you to events that will have some new things unfold for you. I do see some of you Aries learning something in the middle of the month, and I also pick up that you're going to be having some pride in some accomplishment that you've created, some work that you've done or something. You've got pride of accomplishment comes up here. You really have to caution yourself of drifting into lethargic feelings, and you've got to I don't know why this would be happening. I'm not sure why, Aries, but I get some of you may be becoming complacent or lethargic, or feeling kind of like a lazy kind of feeling. Maybe the holidays were a lot for you to get through, but they're saying guard yourself against that kind of feeling. It's really time to push yourself forward. I do feel that some of you are going to have something that's going to pop up unexpectedly for you. That could be a creative pursuit, an option, a new job, something. You've got something coming up here that's going to pop up unexpectedly for you in the month of January. So your second card is the World. So you had two major arcana cards. And the World is a card to me that means the planets in the heavens, the spirit guides around you, conspiring to give you. You have the World here, which is a card to me that symbolizes the planets in the heavens and the spirit guides around you conspiring to give you more control. I feel like you're going to start making some bold moves, actually. Even though I pick up the lethargic feelings on the other card, I do feel you're going to make some bold moves. And some of you may put yourself out there more in a way you didn't think of before. Maybe you're single and you haven't gone on dating sites before and you're uncomfortable about it. Maybe now you're going to do that. Or maybe you dressed kind of conservatively and you're going to start dressing more provocatively. Or just putting yourself out there, even risk-taking of any kind. Like maybe you're afraid, like maybe you're writing something and you're afraid it's not going to be received well. But I feel like you're going to start taking some risks, Aries. That's the feeling I get. Be careful of the words you use because you don't want to have to eat your words or backpedal, especially in dealing with, well, in any regard, really, because I get you could say something to a family member that then you're going to regret that you said it and then you have to take it back and you can't really put your words back. This could also happen at work. So just be very cautious of your wording of things, especially around people whose opinions you value highly, or, especially, like I say, bosses, higher ups or people you value very highly. Be cautious of your wording. Some of you, Aries, may feel like you have to give money out to some people in your family or give something up to someone in your family. It could be anything, giving up possessions, giving money, or letting some people come in and live with you. I mean, I get this energy of giving or giving things up to people in your life. You really need to seek balance this month, because I feel like you're either giving things up too much, like too much work, effort, and stress, or you're on the other side of too lazy and lethargic, and they're saying you need to seek balance. So just think and focus on that, Aries. Now on to the sign of Taurus. And the first card I got for you today, Taurus, is the Magician. And the Magician is a card to me that symbolizes what you think about, you bring about. What's in the ethers and in the spiritual plane, you can manifest very strongly into the material world. This is the card of the manifester. I'm hearing those phrases. You've got the tiger by the tail. The world is your oyster. That's what they're saying. So I feel like you've got a lot going on for you right now. And a lot of it comes from your own mental ingenuity and your own talents and abilities. I feel some of you are going to be projecting something completely different than what you've projected about your persona before. I'm getting an overhaul or some kind of makeover that you're going to do. So this could be plastic surgery. It could be changing your hair. It could be just changing, like maybe you want to take on a new image. Maybe you've been somebody that's been thought of as the quiet, stable, responsible one, and now you want to be the fun, outgoing, inventive, quirky person. I mean, it can be anything. Something is getting overhauled here, and a new image or something different that you're doing. Maybe if you're in performance and you've always sang ballads and very sweet songs, you're going to go rock and roll. I mean, it could be anything like that. It's just something happening here with you, Taurus. And this doesn't have to just happen in this month. This could go forward, but it is coming up here in the mid-month update. I do feel you're going to have a gravitational pull very strongly to somebody that you're going to meet, and I feel something is going to come of this. This can either be a love relationship or a friendship or a business partnership, whatever this pull is that it's going to be. It's not something minor. It's going to develop into something of importance. You know, the guides are also saying it's easy to get lost in the shuffle, so make sure that you're standing out. Like if you're in any auditions, or if you're trying for a new job, or if you're posting new videos on YouTube, and you've got to do something to make yourself stand out. Otherwise, you're just going to blend in with the mix of everything else, and it's not going to work for you. So maybe that's why they were saying earlier that you're going to be changing your image or changing your persona in some way. It could also be with how you're projecting yourself, especially in, getting new jobs or in entertainment. Think on that, Taurus. So the second card you have here is the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is an air sign person that's coming in that would either be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or an Libra, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. Sorry, I had a mind blank there. I feel some of you are getting a message from someone, this Knight of Swords, or an invitation to something is coming to you. Could be coming through the Knight of Swords. Either way, it probably is. The Knight of Swords could also be a female. It's not always has to be a male. Well, be cautious of them, though, because for some of you, this Knight of Swords wants to take something from you. Your time, your energy, or your money. They want to take something from you. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person. This could be your son, or it could be a loved one to you, a brother or a lover. It could be anybody, or, female, whoever. It could be a love person or a family person or a friend, but they want something from you. They do want like money or something, your time, your energy, but I do feel you getting an invitation from some of them. I do feel that you will find this Knight of Swords a little challenging or difficult to deal with. Because some of you, I feel like you're going to say, I release you into the wild. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Don't bother me. Now, for some of you, this could be an ex. If you have an ex that's coming back into your life that wants to see you or wants your energy or wants something from you. I get you. Whoa, I'm releasing you. No, I don't want to be dealing with you right now, or whatever they're selling, you're not buying, or you don't want to be part of. This Knight of Swords hates to be turned down. I mean, nobody likes it, right? But that's what the guides are saying, so they're not going to like being turned down. You're going to have to stand your ground with this Knight, because I feel like you might have the tendency to be a pushover with them, and they may have the propensity or a tendency to walk all over you. So remember, Taurus, you're not a doormat, and you don't have to give in and say yes to everything, even if you care greatly about this Knight of Swords. I feel you could tell me later, oh, no, everything was fine with the Knight of Swords, and it may be, because this is a general reading, but I'm telling you, it comes up like, yeah, I don't feel like you're going to want to be bothered with whatever they're trying to do, and I don't feel they're going to take no for an answer. They're going to push their agenda. So hopefully that helped you. Now on to the sign of Gemini. And the card I got for you, Gemini, the first card, you have Three of Pentacles. And Three of Pentacles is mastering your craft, mastering your skills, business expansion, job expansion. You could have more duties and job responsibilities at work. You could be getting a promotion. It can be any one of those things. You're building on something you knew, and your foundation is becoming stronger. I do feel this applies mostly to you working Geminis. I do feel that you have to settle some debts. Now, for some of you, this is paying off debts, and you will be focusing on doing that in January and moving forward, February and March also. But for some of you, this settling of debts could be, you may feel a little spiteful if somebody has harmed you or taken advantage of you in the workplace or in any regard to do with money. So you may want to feel like you're You have to think on what I'm saying here. I'm not promoting vengeance, but I feel some of you, it's either settling debts like that, but settling debts also of, credit card debt or loan payment debt, things like that. Some of you will be receiving accolades or a promotion at work. And through your work, there may be a revamping of the system. So that could mean somebody else comes in and buys it and changes it. Or maybe the computer systems that your business uses is going to get tossed out and there's going to be new systems employed there. Just look for changes and revamping or upgrading or redoing or renewing of systems. You're going to have to talk a lot, and I feel that you may feel like you're talking your way out of a paper bag, meaning like you may be just put in a situation where people are making you explain things a lot, either through training and educating people, or your higher ups at a place you work may be going through and questioning everybody to see, like, how much do they know? How much do they understand? Do they really get what's going on? And they could look like, innocent conversations, but they could actually be fact-finding missions. So I feel like Geminis will be doing a lot of talking in January. If you're a non-working Gemini, you could just be socializing a lot more and having a lot of conversations with your friends and loved ones or groups and associations you're involved with. Now, the second card you have here is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card to me that symbolizes the karmic wheels of fate turning in your favor, the planets in the heavens and the spirit guides around you conspiring to help give you karmic good fortune. I do feel in mid-January or at the end of January, you are going to be finding yourselves in a more interesting positions. Let's put it that way. Some of you, the scope of your work or what you're interested in is going to be expanding. Even if you're a non-working Gemini, I don't care whatever it is you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in needlework or knitting, or you're interested in repairing cars, or building things. Whatever it is you're interested in or work is expanding. So expect to be learning more things or adding more things to your repertoire at your job or of your personal interests. I do feel some of you are going to be asking your bosses for more time to complete projects. If you're having any construction done at your home, or you are doing any construction, you may find that it takes more time or it needs more time to complete it than you originally thought. You are going to be doing your homework and laying the groundwork for other projects and other things that you're going to be doing. So laying the groundwork comes up here. Some of you are going to be getting a visitation from an aunt or a relative. Now, this could be in the living, but it could also be a deceased, because I'm hearing it as a visitation, but that could go either way. They could be coming to visit and stay with you, or, be prepared that one of your deceased relatives could show up to say hi or give you a message. I do feel that you're going to start looking better than you have in a long time, and I see you breathing new life into yourself, your life. You're trying to get something, like maybe you're trying to get the winds of change to travel through your life, but I get you breathing new life into something going on in your life. It's also time to repair any broken down relationships with people that you care about. It also may be time to review contracts. Maybe contracts have been broken, or maybe you need to renew or review contracts. That also comes up here. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Now on to the sign of Cancer. And the first card you have that shows up here, Cancer, is the Ace of Rods or the Ace of Wands. And this is new beginnings. This could be new job, new love relationship, new home, getting an inheritance. New beginnings of all kinds comes up here with this card. I do feel that many of you Cancers are going to finally get something that you've been wanting. Some kind of attainment is happening for you here. And I do see some of you letting go of old fears of not feeling worthy or not feeling good enough or not having something that you want. Like you're going to be letting go of that. I do feel a lot of things are going to fall into place for you after January 15th. I feel like you're going to start to see that happening for you. Some of you will be making a new alliance with someone new. This could also be a new alliance with a new company, a new client, a new friend, a new love. It's coming up as a new alliance. It does come up here for you Cancers. I see you going through some kind of screening process. And you may be going through and screening or reviewing past documents of any kind. This could be your own personal documents, or it could be documents pertaining to any company you work for or a business you own, anything like that. Some of you Cancers are getting invited to a social gathering where a lot of people come out of the woodwork to meet you or talk to you. So if you're in the business world, this could be a very big networking opportunity, and maybe a lot of people know of you and your successes, and they want to come up and meet you or congratulate you or say job well done. Because I get a lot of people like shaking your hand, not even just to meet you to network and rub elbows with you, but also some of them are giving you congratulations. So I don't know what achievement you've created or gotten. Maybe you got a promotion, or maybe you got engaged, or there's something noteworthy that's happened to you, because I do feel people giving you congratulations comes up here too. If you were applying to a college or some kind of program or training, I feel you're going to get accepted. If you applied for any grants or loans, I feel you will get the grant or loan awarded to you. If you applied for any new jobs, I feel you are going to be the candidate that they're going to pick. So I get those kind of activities around you also. Now here you have the Emperor as your other card. And this is a paternal figure that's crossed over to the other side, watching you, guiding you, protecting you, giving you ideas and inspirations. This could be your father, your stepfather, your grandfather, your great-grandfather. It could also be an ex-husband or a deceased husband or a boss. In the living, it can be a husband, an ex-husband, a father, or a boss in the living. You are going to have some gratitude expressed to you, I feel, in this month of the end part of January. I do feel that there's some tasks that are going to be required for you to do. So if you have a boss, I feel they're going to have some high expectations of you this month. If you have a father figure that's kind of, I don't want to say dictatorial, but in need of something, you may have some responsibilities and duties that he wants you to help him out with or take care of for him. But either way, or it could even be a husband. I just get this male figure has some expectations of you and wants you to step up to the plate, have more responsibilities, and more duties are going to be placed on you. And they're coming from the needs, wants, and desires of whoever this Emperor is for you. That's how it comes up. A request or requirement coming from the Emperor. I feel like if you have any hesitancy or fears, you need to relinquish these and jump into it headlong. Get very involved in it. While you're doing this, I do see you finding out some interesting facts and details that you'll be able to use moving forward in the future that will be helpful and useful to you. Some of you will be going through educating, training. I get you going through that. Now, maybe you're signing up for college or an advanced degree program, or you're starting a new business or a new job that requires you to have some additional training. I see many of you Cancers going through any of those processes that I just described. So hopefully those messages made sense for you Cancers. Now on to the sign of Leo. And the first card of the two that you have here, Leo, is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is God giving you the holy grail of love, the abundance of love coming to you. This card can also indicate possibly a new love romance. Some of you, I feel, are going to find like a new gateway has opened for you, and you may find yourself in a new position in your family. You could now be the matriarch or patriarch of your family. You know, I do feel like you're going to have your cake and eat it too. I do feel a lot of things are going to fall into place for you after we pass through this month of January. I feel many of you Leos are getting ready to make some kind of monumentous decision. And it's almost like, I see it like taking a lump of clay and molding it into something spectacular. So it's like you're taking something from a seed and germinating it into this beautiful plant. You're taking nothing and making it something. You're creating something very big and important here. It is time for Leos to get a breath of fresh air and get out into the sunshine more, even if it's cold where you live. It's winter here in the United States on the East Coast, but we're having a very unseasonably warm January and winter so far. But Leos need to get out there in the fresh air more, in nature more. Any guilt or remorse over any past love relationships that you've been holding on to, it's time to cut that and be done with it. Not carry those energies forward as you move into this new year. Don't be surprised if you don't have gratitude expressed to you by many, because I feel like you're going to see a lot of people that are grateful for directions you've given them, guidance you've given them, money you've given them, jobs you've given them, whatever you've given to people, be prepared to get some gratitude. You know, everything happens for a reason, Leo, and they're saying, this is your time to shine. You're coming into the time to shine. So on to the second card of Knight of Swords. He showed up in this, he showed up for another sign too. I'm not sure which one that was. But here you have it, and Knight of Swords is an air sign person. This would either be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It can also be a female, even though it is a knight. You know, they're saying it's now time to push your agendas forward and to not take no for an answer. So for some of you, this is actually not a person, but more like an activity that you need to do. They're saying take things one day at a time. Try not to get overwhelmed by your responsibilities, because I feel some of you Leos are looking at it like in mass on a large scale, and it's overwhelming to you. And they're saying take things one step at a time. Don't look at everything in a big lump, or it's going to seem overwhelming to you. If this is a person for you that has caused you trouble or problems, I feel some of you are going to extricate yourself from this person or get them out of your life. So for some of you, this can be an actual person, but I feel like you're going to not want to be engaging with them or dealing with them. It does not seem like someone you want to contend with now. But for some of you, this is for you saying you need to push your own agendas forward. You know, they're saying it's your rite of passage. It's your time to shine. It's time for you to take that ball and run with it. So whatever this is that you've been doing, if you've created a new business or you've been starting a new website, it's now time to launch it. Or some, push forward. If you're working, Leo, you may want to ask for a promotion at this time. Or a raise, or anything new you're creating or doing, a new song, a new composition, a new work of art, a new book of some sort. Like, it's now time to push forward. This is your time to shine. This is your gateway. That's what the spirit guides are saying here. So hopefully that helped you, Leo. Now on to the sign of Virgo. And the first card you have here, Virgo, is the Strength card. And this is having to access your inner courage and inner strength. having courage and strength over adversity. It can also mean spiritual power over the material world. I feel that you've learned a lot of karmic lessons the hard way, Virgo, but I feel like this is a period of time where you're sort of coming out of that period now, getting out of that period of time. Some of you are going to be working very diligently towards some sort of purpose or goal. Some of you may be getting initiated or ordained into some kind of strict practices. If you've been in religious studies of any kind of theologies, maybe you are going through something that's going to make you a minister, a priest, a rabbi, whatever. You could be getting ordained as something here. That comes up. You have all the power within you to create the dreams and reality you want, but drama has assailed you. So your associations and connections with people in your life that have created dramas and setbacks for you, they're acting like some of you Virgos, don't get mad at me, have let that overtake you and hold you down. Some of you may have felt like you had no other choice. It was the circumstances that you were in. But if that's over and done with now, you have to move away from that kind of energy. The guides are also saying they want you to strengthen your immune system and have some more robust energy. So anything you can do to increase your strength and your vitality through, some people don't believe in taking vitamins. Perhaps you do. If you believe in that, then you need to take vitamins or any kind of juices or certain things that you can drink to build up your immune system and strengthen you. The guides are saying it's time for you to do that. They're saying that it's like you're looking for your life to have some peace and maybe deeper meaning, but peace. But the guides are saying that you've really possessed this peace in you all along. And you may have been looking for this outside of yourself, and it's actually been in yourself the entire time. So those are the reasons for strength showing up. Here you have Six of Swords. That's a card to me that means moving. You could be moving your residence. You could be taking a trip. This card can be long distance travel. It can also be moving towards something better, like moving away from one way of being or troubling times towards better times. The guides do say it is time to get on the move in some way, whatever that means to you. They're saying taking big leaps of faith, holding your breath and plunging into things is recommended for you. Not to be waiting for the right opportunity or there is times to do that. But they're saying it's now more times to take leaps of faith for you. I do feel like for some of you Virgos, if you are gathering your belongings and taking them somewhere else and moving, I feel that's actually going to occur later on this year. For some of you, it could be in January, but really I feel if there's moving activities going on, moving your residence, it's later on in the year of 2017. Some of you that have family dissension that you can't stand, I feel some of you are going to be packing your bags and leaving a situation, like maybe you're living with your family, it could be living with your parents, and maybe there's family turmoil that you're living in. Either you're going to tell them to pack their bags and go, or you will be packing your bags and going if you're in a living situation where there's dissension, or if you've had any family members coming and staying with you and it's caused dissension. You may be saying you're causing too much disruption in this house. You can't keep staying here. It could happen one way or the other for you, Virgo. It could go one way or the other. If you've been looking for a job, I feel your reputation precedes you and you will be finding a new and better job. So for some of you, oddly enough, finding a better job also comes up here with the Six of Swords. That's why I always say, and some of you may not have heard me say this ever, But I always go by what my guides tell me why the cards are here. I don't just read the cards by what the card meaning is in a book. I always go by what my guides say, and I don't need to read the cards upside down either, because my guides are going to tell me whether the situation is positive or negative based on the cards being upright. I don't need them to be upside down. So some of you have asked me that. Recently, I've gotten some questions about why don't I read the cards upside down. It's because my spirit guides are giving me the messages anyway. So hopefully those messages helped you, Virgo. Now on to Libra. And the first of the two cards you have here, Libra, in this mid-month update is the Two of Rods or Wands. And this is partnership. It can be partnership in business, partnership in romance. It can also mean stepping out more into the world with something you're doing. I feel like Libras are going through a transition period and that they're harnessing all their energies now. It's easy for you to let go of things that have not served you, but I'm hearing that it's time to come up with new plans. So maybe you need a new job. Maybe you need to leave your home. Maybe you want to move. Maybe, you want to buy a place for a vacation home. Whatever these new plans are for you, it's saying it's great. You can let go of the old, but it's time to come up with new plans. The guides are saying that everything really, for a lot of you Libras, relies on your emotions and your feelings about things. You make a lot of decisions based on how you feel. I feel like things are going to be easing up for you, because the guides are telling me that there's been some things that have come to some kind of crescendo in your life, and that it built up, and that right around now, or like December and before this, you're getting this reading, maybe at the very beginning of January, and then it's going to be a release for you. Some things are going to be easing up now. I do feel that some of you have had the feeling like people have put either too much responsibility on you, or that you've had too much pressures put on you. I do feel that some of you have had that feeling. I feel that there's going to be an interesting twist in terms of events that are going to happen for you in this year of 2017. And by summertime, some of you may see yourself living in a different living situation or a different home. That comes up here for some of you. I feel some of you you worry too much, Libra. I feel like some of you worry too much, and you may have stomach or digestive problems because of it. Now, the next card you have here in the layout is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is a water sign person. This would either be a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio. That could be their sun sign, their rising sign, or their moon sign. Or it could be somebody bringing you in a message that has to do with emotions. Any unhealthy relationship, I feel that you will be gathering your strength and energy and leaving it this year or soon. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, that's not going to apply to all of you, obviously. I do get some of you have some gratitude that's coming to you, and some of you will be getting your just due. Your just desserts, like what you have coming to you. If you have some things that are supposed to be coming to you, I feel you're going to be getting it. That's how it comes up. You're going to be surrounded by nuances and subtleties, and I feel that you're going to be reading between the lines. This could be in contracts or negotiations. It could also be in the way people are communicating to you and expressing their opinion to you. Whatever, it's either going to be in documents or legalities or paperwork or things like that. You're going to read between the lines, or you're reading between the lines in what people are saying and communicating to you. Some of you may be developing a long-lasting love relationship bond with this Knight of Cups. That's for some of you Libras that are just needing this Knight of Cups. Some of you may have felt very overwhelmed by other people that you've had to consort with. Family members, family situations, a lot like a maze, twists and turns and avenues of emotions and different dealings with them, and like having to navigate through all these, again, I feel like it's a maze of emotions. I feel like you're dealing with a lot of things emotionally at the beginning of this year. It's things that have been generated through your interactions with mostly family. To me, it feels like family members and significant others. But for some of you, job and friendship relations could also be thrown in the mix of that as well. So I feel your emotions are very heightened and raw at the beginning of the year. For some of you, you do have some new love prospect or forming a lasting relationship with someone who could be coming to you through this Knight of Cups. And it doesn't have to be a male. This also could be a female. Knights can also be female. So hopefully that helped you, Libra. Now on to Scorpio. And the first card I got for you, Scorpio, is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is an earth sign male, usually, but it could be a female. This would be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. I do hear that Scorpios have a lot to think about in the beginning of this new year or in the middle of this month, and a lot to do. Some of you will be working in partnership and in tandem with someone new. So if you have a job, you may have a new business partner or associate that you have to work with. If you have your own company or business, you may take on a new business partner, but interacting, associating with, and working with someone new comes up here. There is a lot of opportunity here for you to buy into a business or to increase your money here through investing. It could be through investments, but I get you've got some money-making opportunities here. I do get it's going to be easy pickings for you. You're going to have the pick of the litter. So some of you, if you have to hire new people, you're going to have a good bunch of candidates to hire. If you're shopping for a new home, I feel like you're going to have some good options here and you'll get the pick of the litter. You just have to think of how pick of the litter applies to you, but I see you presented with quite a few options. Maybe it's like if you're looking for a new job. If you're a Scorpio out there looking for a new job, you may, because I get it's going to come easy for you. Remember that. Pick of the litter and easy for you. And you're going to make more money or more money coming to you either through what you're going to do or through your investments or new investing is all part of with this Knight of Pentacles is why it's here for you. Some of you are going to be taking some class. Could just be one class. Doesn't have to be classes. And I also hear that some of you Scorpios are going to be broadcasting. You could be on YouTube, it could be on a new radio show, but broadcasting is coming up here in this mid-month of January also for you Scorpios. You know, they also want you to take care of your money, protect your money, invest your money wisely. Really research and search out what's the best protective measures I can take on my money. You might also want to get identity protection. Also, anything that's protective measures around your money. So the next card you have here is the Six of Swords, and that is either moving to a new home or residence. It could also be long distance travel. This card can also symbolize if you're moving on to something better, to more positive shores, so to speak. Some of you may be gathering information, documents, proof, or evidence and having to present your case. If you have to go before a judge, some of you may be doing that in a lawsuit or some dispute of some sort, some kind of tribunal or something even going on at work. You may have to present your case, some of you. If there's a long-standing rivalry at your place of business between two different fractions fighting, somebody's going to get fired. If you have two bosses, which sounds weird, I don't know how many places have two bosses, but I guess it could happen. I feel that one of the bosses is getting fired. In some regards, for some of you, it's a very small portion. You could be stepping into the position of the one boss that gets fired. that will happen for some of you, but some of you it's just something you're going to witness, that there are two fractions of power that are going to fight, and one of them gets fired. Some of you Scorpios are going to be staking your claim to something that is yours. If you had somebody that died in your family and you feel that there's something in your family's, in this estate that belongs to you, I see you staking claim to it. This could also be in the job situation. You could be staking claim to it. A job that belongs to you. You could be staking claim to that. Someone you have interest in. If you've had your eye on somebody or you've been dating them for a long time, you could be staking your claim to them. You could be asking to get engaged or giving them an engagement ring. Or, if somebody else is trying to steal your woman or your man, you could be saying, get lost. This is my partner, go, that's kind of like staking your claim too. You just have to think about how that's going to apply to you, Scorpio. Just to let you know, anything that you've done under a cloak of secrecy is going to get revealed. There are some things that are going to get revealed, Scorpio. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. For some of you, that might not be good. But for others of you, it might be, maybe you were working on some projects and plans that you wanted to keep under wraps and you kept secret, and it's going to get revealed. Maybe you're revealing it. That statement could sound negative, but for some of you, it's not. You could be revealing something wondrous to the world, and you were working on it, in secret, and now it's going to get revealed. But for some of you, if you were keeping secrets or doing things in secret you didn't want revealed, it could be getting revealed to the world. So that comes up here. So now on to the sign of Sagittarius. So the first card you have of the two, Sagittarius, is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is a card to me that symbolizes, it's like God showing up, or a high priest or a high religious figure to give you blessings. It could also be giving you a caution, a warning. This could also indicate higher education and higher learning. It's been a long, hard road to hoe, Sagittarius, and now you're finally coming to the end of it. Your hesitancy about some things that have been going on inside of you have built up some combustible energy in you, built up tension, built up stresses. So think on that. I'm not sure why they're bringing that up. Any new moves, any strategies or new strategies that you've been working on in your mind and putting into play, you are you haven't put them into play yet, but you've been working on them. You are now going to start using them. So if you own your own business, or if you run a company, or you're a big boss, or you just have a really big job, or you're the head of your church group or organization, or the PTA, or whatever clubs you belong to, any strategies that you've been working on, you're going to start implementing them, and they feel like they're new to me, new strategies. I also get that many of you Sagittarians are tired of being the scapegoat. Also tired of having people dump their crap on you and you having to sort it out and figure it out and straighten it out. I get that you're tired of that. That could be the long road to hoe that you're at the end of, because I do feel like many of you are like, you know what? I can't be your savior. I can't be the one that always rushes in and comes to your aid and solves all the problems and figures everything out. However, I feel that you do that quite a bit, Sagittarius. I feel you do it a lot, and you may be just getting at the end of your rope, at your wit's end with it, is how I feel. Some of you are going to have some formal education or some formal training in some way, does come up here. So you may be going back and getting a PhD or a master's degree, your doctorate. Some of you may be going to some specialized school or, training program. That also is being mentioned here. So here you have the Ten of Cups is your second card, and this is happily ever after. This can often symbolize a happy marriage with good emotions, or a union like a marriage where all good things are happening to you emotionally. You could have a happy home, happy life, happy family, happy emotions. You know, some of you Sagittarians may be dividing yourself between two places. If you and your significant other have two homes, maybe they live in one home, you live in another, and you go back and forth between these two homes. It could also be if you and your significant other buy a vacation place and you go back and forth between two homes because of that. But I do see you dividing yourself between two places, and I don't feel like they're talking about you, your home, and work. This feels like your home and somebody else, your significant other's home, or you having two homes with them. I feel you going back and forth here. There's a lot of new love coming to you this year, and this could be coming to you through your partner, or it could be a new partner coming in for you. But you've got new love, they're saying, coming in. You know, I do feel that some of you Sagittarians are feeling like you want to broaden and expand your horizons, and that you don't like that you've been pegged down or penned in to one particular thing. And for some of you, this could be a love relationship that you found stifling or controlling, or you haven't felt like it was going anywhere and you may want to get out of it. This could also be if you've had a job or a career that you've been in love with and had, like, it's been your whole world, but you may feel like it's gotten stifling or controlling or penning you in, and you may want to get out of that. It's going to be different for all of you Sagittarians, but new love is coming in here for you one way or the other. Because I do feel like many of you Sagittarians really want to branch out and see the world and to expand what you're doing. I feel like a big sense of expansion. Now, for some of you, this could just say, guess what? You're having happily ever after with this love partner. It could be that, but that's not really what my guides are telling me here. That may be unusual to hear some of the messages that are coming up here, but I do see you wanting to become more expansive in whatever situation that is for you. And for some of you, again, any situation, I don't care whether it's love or a career that you've loved, you are going to be more expansive this year. And for some of you, I feel new love coming to you. And this new love can be through a new job or a new career. Or it could even be through the love that you already are in, Sagittarius. You could have an expansion of the love that you are already in. But if you feel hemmed in or penned in something that's not going anywhere for you, you're going to be expanding from it. That's what I get. So hopefully those messages were helpful to you. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. And the first card I have for you, Capricorn, is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is a card that symbolizes to me the card of the apprentice, learning a new craft, learning a new skill, starting a new job, starting a new business, and gaining financial gains and rewards from that work and efforts and learning. I feel like you're going to be talking to a lot of people in January, and this very well could be work related. I get the feeling like you're going to feel like you don't have all the time that you actually need to complete what you're doing. I feel you're going to be squeezed for time. You're not the only sign that got that. I believe Gemini got that as well. If you have anybody in the workplace that undermines your authority or what you're doing, I feel that you're going to put them in their place. You're not going to tolerate it. I feel something big is going to come out of this. And next month in February, I see you having some stellar opportunities coming up. It's like you're going to be covering new ground or covering new territory. You may even be talking to somebody new, either about a new project or a new job opportunity or a new business comes up here with you, Capricorn. Especially, it can happen in this month of January, but if it does, I feel it's towards the very end of the month, and I really see it strongly in February. I see you farming out responsibilities to others, and I do feel that you're going to be getting along with people really well, even though I do pick up there is a chance that somebody could undermine your work or your authority. But putting that person aside, I feel generally you're going to be getting along really well with people. There's something new that's getting ready to be created here through your job or through the work you do if you own your own business or you work for somebody else. Something new is getting created. And you have a big hand in it. You may be the sole creator of it, or it could be your idea, or you're part of a team that's creating it, because I do get something new getting created here. So the second card you have in the layout is the King of Wands and the King, or Rods, whichever way you like to say it. And this would be a fire sign male. This would either be a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius. Sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could also be a female, even though it is a king. There's some kind of new arrangement or agreement that you're going to make with somebody. Again, this could be like your existing boss, or you get a new job and it's a new arrangement or an agreement. It could also be, if you're the boss, this could also be with love, but really it feels more, there's something more structured around it, but it could be love also. I see some of you trying to figure out what you want to do with them. I feel like you're a little uncomfortable by them also. Like you feel, I'm not saying you can't deal with them. I feel that you can, but I'm getting this sense internally in my stomach, like, you get uncertainty. The feelings of uncertainty kick up when you're around this King of Rods. If they're a boss or a promoter, they're looking to highlight you in some way, or highlight something you've done or created or perform or written in some way. So this actually feels like somebody, for some of you, these people cards can mean multiple people. Even in private readings, I see it happen. So just listen to that. Like, some of you, this is somebody like a higher up, a boss or a new employer that wants to highlight you in some way, highlight your work or highlight what you're doing, creating, or working on. It feels like that to me strongly. Some of you, this is somebody you have emotional ties and connections to, somebody from the past. So for some of you, it's not what I just said. It's somebody connected to your past, or it still could be the same person, but that felt like a different king to me. You know, also this king comes up, firstly, that he wants to show off or showcase your abilities, your talents, your work, but this king could also be wanting to show off their abilities, their talents, their know-how and knowledge to you. So it could go either way with this King of Rods. I just generally get you're going to have some puzzlement and trying to figure them out. Emotionally and mentally, I feel that's some of what's going to happen for you in your dealings with this King of Rods in January and going into February. So hopefully that was of help to you, Capricorns. Now on to Aquarius. And the first card you have that showed up here, Aquarius, is the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is a card to me that symbolizes, this is like happily ever after. Two people intertwined with each other, could be in a marriage, with all good things emotionally happening between the two of you. That's what this means to me. Could be happy home, happy children, happy life together, happily ever after is usually the Ten of Cups. I feel that many Aquarians are ready to travel into new territory. This could be romance. I feel that many of you are ready or are looking to find that silver lining. I feel you're really looking for that in 2017, or at least in this midpoint of January. I get some of you really feeling like your old self again, back to who you were long ago, like a renewed sense of self, or feeling like you used to a long time ago. There will be, for some of you, a new relationship opportunity that will be popping up for some of you, but I'm not convinced some of you are going to take it. Some of you may look at it and say, yeah, I don't know if they're really my type, or, you know, because I get some of you doing it and some of you hesitant about doing it. I do feel some of you are going to be working out some details with someone about time, place. So this could be someone you meet on a dating site, or somebody could introduce you, and the two of you are trying to figure out when you're going to get together to meet for a date or a meetup or to go somewhere. I do get that for some of you, working out logistics and timing of when you're going to meet. If you're already coupled, I feel like your relationships are going to take on a more serious tone. If you're already like dating someone, I feel it's going to get more serious and get more committed. If you're already married or in a relationship like a marriage, I feel that you and your partner are going to talk about things that need to get revamped or renewed. This could be your sex life. It could be your romantic life in general with each other, or it could be we need to get a vacation home, or we need to redo the home that we're in. But reviewing, revamping, and renewing things come up here for you already married Aquarians. So it's not the same message for those that are single, for those that are dating, and for those that are married. It comes up different for all of you, so please listen to that part. Again, Aquarius, the next card you have here, I know you Aquarians are going to be upset about this. It's not a horrible card, but this is the Five of Cups, which is sadness, loss, and regret. Not all hope is lost when this card shows up, but this can mean sadness, loss, or regret. It can also be if you have trouble or issues with alcohol, or you could be dealing with somebody that has issues with alcohol. You know, I'm hearing you must surrender yourself to the new. It's easy to get caught up in entanglements from people from the past, and also you don't want to repeat any relationships of, like, let's say you were in a relationship with somebody who had issues with alcohol, and you meet someone new now. You do not, if you get any sense that they're remotely like the person that had the problem with the alcohol, you do not want to get entangled with them and repeat it, because there could be a possibility of that. Or maybe you're not totally over a situation where you dealt with a complicated, drama-creating, narcissistic person from the past. You don't want to repeat that with anybody new, because this is actually a lot about entanglements. You want to get rid of the entanglements from the past. You don't want to repeat any entanglements that were like that in your future. Some of you may be having a little bit of regrets over some money that you spent. Maybe you spent too much money at Christmas time or during the holiday season, and you have regrets that you spent so much. Or maybe you made some really, really big purchase, like a new home or a new car, and maybe you're having some buyer's remorse or regrets about that. I don't feel like it's anything major here, but just be cautious of not to get sucked down any rabbit hole of regrets. That's what you don't want to have. You do not need that moving forward. I feel that some of you may be struggling a little bit of, why do I always have to be on the back burner in people's lives or in a job situation? Anywhere where you feel like your needs or wants or desires have been put second, or you've been put on the back burner. And I feel that you're going to be doing some thinking about that and rectifying it so that that doesn't happen anymore. So just think on those messages. Listen to this again, Aquarius. I hope it helped you. Stay tuned for the February readings at the beginning of the month, because they are much longer. They're 3 times as long, over 3 times as long as this. This is just a mid-month update. So now on to the sign of Pisces. And the first card you have here today, Pisces, is the Two of Swords. This is a card that can mean a blocked, something being blocked, something being stopped, or a stalemate. There's a lot of emotions here, and there may be unknown factors or unknown forces in this equation that you don't know about. Or you may be feeling like you're being kept in the dark in some way. You know, I feel like you are experiencing some kind of emotional withholding and maybe some kind of emotional trauma. If this has already occurred in your life and is not occurring right now, you could still have the ripple effects of it happening. Now, I do feel some Pisces are really thinking very strongly at the start of this new year about how to transform their life, how to become more free emotionally and spiritually and mentally, even physically too. I get you want to free yourself from things here. If you've lasted in something really long that isn't working for you, could be a relationship, could be a job, I hear it's time to let it go, give up the ghost, let it go. You know, that's easier said than done. Please believe me, I know that. I am not trying to be trite here, but if you find yourself in something that's holding you back, not getting anywhere, unhealthy for you, making you feel imprisoned in some way, or feel like you can't see or understand the direction it's going in, I'm not saying give it up right now, but I would think about maybe you need to move on to a new relationship, or maybe you need to think about getting a new job, or maybe you need to start getting a new business on your own. Just think on this, because you need to do something that's going to be more freeing to you and not so emotionally, mentally, or spiritually stifling. You know, you may say, I'm doing all that I can. I'm thinking of all these new ways to do things, but I feel like there's something still missing. And I do feel that you're going to get some kind of inspiration or message that's going to come to you through spiritual guidance, and very likely for many of you Pisces, it's going to come to you in a dream. If it does not come to you in a dream, then it's going to come to you in some serendipity, synchronistic way of signs, where you're going to get the message repeated till it finally dawns on you. So pay attention, Pisces. The next card you have here is the 10 of Wands or Rods, and this card symbolizes traveling on to new and better horizons, but you have 10 rods of burden on your shoulder, and those 10 rods of burden are actually knowledge and experience that you've gained that are going to help you on your new, on the new road to new and better horizons. So you could be feeling overburdened here. You know, they're telling me that you really do know what you need to do, Pisces. You may have structured your life in such a way that you've become very accustomed to the system and the regimen and the pattern, but this needs to change. The guides are recommending, or they're either you're going to do it or they're recommending that these patterns need to change. You're going to get some kind of revelations of some kind, and I feel that some old school kind of person is going to come along and talk to you. Could be me. I'm old school. Maybe I'm the one talking to you, Pisces. I don't know. But you are going to have somebody old school come along and talk to you. I do see many of you Pisces getting rid of old, unwanted clutter, unwanted junk. I see you doing a lot of space clearing. This could also be mental and emotional clearing, but to me it actually feels like also physical things in your home. Some of you I feel are going to actually travel abroad. I feel for some of you this is like going to another country. It feels like that to me, but some of you it could not be that distant. And I feel for some of you, this is only for a small portion of you, will be going there to consider moving there or living there. So maybe you're not happy with the country you're living in, or the way the government is rolling in your country, or you just feel like you're like a, no pun intended, fish out of water, and that you've always had some draw to some other land. This could be because of a reincarnational memory or past that's drawing you there. So for some of you, I do see travel to another country. For some of you, it is to consider moving there. You know, I do feel that your hopes may be dashed by someone who made a promise to you they did not keep. This could be in love. This could be in a job situation. Could be a family member. Maybe they promised you an inheritance and they ended up giving it to somebody else. I mean, it could be anything. So some of you Pisces may feel like you're disappointed by somebody who made a promise to you that they did not keep. I feel like this may be a bit of stress, strain, or struggle that you contend with, where you go back and forth with your feelings about this. That could have already been happening, or it could be happening right now. So I hope those messages helped you. I want to say thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing and for Google Plusing. I do truly appreciate that. And please remember to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I post any of my videos here on YouTube. Also, if you're interested in getting this month's crystal reading for your sign, you can click on the link below this video and it will take you to my Vimeo videos on demand page for January 2017 crystal reading for each sign of the zodiac for download and purchase. I also want to remind you, you can get the New Year's reading where I did a different reading. I had people ask me that. It is not the same reading I put on YouTube. It is using a different tarot deck called the Golden Tarot Deck, where I pulled 5 cards, 1 card for each quarter of the year, plus an additional 5th card for January, and used the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. I pulled a card for each sign at the end of those readings. You can get those videos for download and purchase by clicking on the other link below this video in the Show More section, and it will also take you to my Vimeo videos on demand page, but that will take you to the page for the expanded New Year's reading for 2017 plus January for download and purchase. You can also access both of these videos I've discussed here by going to my website, www.thelluckymermaid.com, clicking on the videos tab on my menu, going to page 8, and scroll down the page and you'll see the heading for the crystal readings and also for the New Year's, expanded New Year's readings. You just click on your sign and it will take you to those videos on Vimeo. I hope you have an amazing rest of your month of January, all the signs of the zodiac, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.